Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we have been busily bleeding the Ukrainians over here. We've been trying to push out over here. It's not been going terribly well. We can see how that's going to go if we try to run this again, but for now I expect that to not go tremendously well. We've been pushing over here, but it's mostly just attempting to get a position where we're baiting the Ukrainians into attacking us and taking enormous losses to push us back. So that is the dream here. And for now, we'll just continue to see what we can get done here. This will be interesting. Now, our war support is really not great. Mostly that's due to convoys raided. Interesting. Very interesting. I expected it to be more the casualties, but no, that's very much convoy raiding. Okay, well, we'll continue for now, and we'll see how we do on this push this time. We've been able to successfully push them out of this area before, but then, hang on. This is quite a salient. I don't like what we've got going on up here at all. That said, these guys are now encircled. Hang on. This is actually a lot of units that are encircled here. No, get in here. Don't instantly stop. Keep attacking this. This is a lot of units that got encircled here. I'm surprised by this. That was a lot. They're up over 18 million losses. It's going to be not impossible for them to replace those units, but painful. If we check in here, they're down to 3 to 4 million. Well, 3.6 to 4.9 million manpower. That's definitely dropping. So that's good to know. They're attacking us here, and I'm delighted to have them do that. So they can keep doing that. And up over this direction, we're going to want to build in the background here whatever we can in terms of digging in on this side. If we can deny them Rostov-on-Don, this is an enormous situation. Supplies become dicey up over this direction. And to that end, I'm going to start construction on a supply hub here. I don't expect that to actually get finished, but we'll see. It's a bit of a contingency at this moment. Okay, we've taken a little bit more territory up over here. And to that end, we definitely want to build land forts up over this direction. We'll get done what we can. They're struggling to push us back this time, but they're moving troops in, so we need to be prepared. There's only so many more places that we have in our sights in this area. So that's absolutely noted. And we need to be careful as we get pushed back. We don't want to have troops get encircled, right? That's the absolute worst thing for us. So, oh, hi, pause menu. So we are currently in a situation where we're likely to get pushed out of here. Do we even expect to hold that, though? Not really. We'll see. But this is going to be really, really rough for them. I'd like to push here. These guys are very weak. And yeah, we're not going to have them encircled. They're going to fall back to Rostov-on-Don. But we can take this position. This is actually further than we got previously. So that's interesting for sure. Now, this is a little spicy out over here, but we know what happens even if they do push us here. We just push them right back and it's no big deal. So that seems fine. But our main concern over here right now is that we're just going to have a very hard time pushing too much further than this. And this is due to supply. This is why we're building a hub here and why we're building a hub here. This is the far more important hub. So we'll see if we can hold this position for long enough to be able to build that hub. It does take quite a long time. We are pushing here. We'll see if we manage to get anything done there. They have a lot of troops in this area, and they're going to start pushing back pretty soon here. But Rostov-on-Don can't supply this many troops, and I think that's why they're running into issues here. They have too many troops in this region. So that's certainly interesting. I'm going to move these guys up over to here. I want to reinforce this if we can get there in time. And similarly, I want to get these guys up here. Our main goal right now is to hold this position. If we can take additional locations, that's fine. But our main goal right now is to hold as best we can so that they can't attack right here. Because we want to get this finished. 31 October is our goal. I want to make sure our railways are okay over here. They're absolutely fine. Okay. So this position, we're struggling to hold right now, but that's fine. Our other locations here are dicey, but holding for the moment. Supplies are rough in this area. I want to check in on this area. Okay. That's noted. This should be fine, I think. We should be able to hold this. So let's check in on their losses at this moment. 18.22. Noted. They pushed us here, which we're not surprised about. Although I am a little surprised that we didn't get pushed here first. Okay. So for now, this is okay. Although, if we could encircle this, that would be ridiculous. But we're getting pushed out of this area. Oh, wow. They immediately jumped here as well. Get them out of there. I know that they're walking in here, and that's certainly not ideal. I want to move half of these units to here. Okay. We did not get them out of there in time. That's actually quite bad for us, because that's where that supply facility was being built. So this is the scenario that has been happening where we get pushed back, and then we push them back, and then we get pushed back, and then we push them back. Our goal is to just make them have to pay a lot to do this, right? And not have our troops get obliterated. Not have our troops get surrounded. I'm looking at locations like this and thinking, this is a bit spicy. That said, this push is interesting. I wonder what that's going to look like once we take this position. So once we get back here, we're supplied by Yekaterinodar. And once we get up here, they're supplied by Rostov-on-Don. And there's this no man's land in here where neither of us get supplies. And that's what causes this battle to turn. So the supply hub back over here will help this. But what we really need is a forward supply hub here. That's what we really need. That said, they haven't pushed us back as far, and we're pushing them back now. So once again, we want to be building our supply hub right here. Unfortunately, because they took this position, that resets when that's going to get built at. And they're currently attacking this location. And there's literally no one right here right now. Okay. It's a bit spicy. This push here is a bit awkward. We are attacking here, and I would love it if these guys would move up here and help defend this area. There we go. So supplies are absolutely our Achilles heel at this moment. This hub finishing would be helpful, but definitely not the biggest of deals. It's this hub here getting finished that would be absolutely tremendous if we were able to do that. If we take Rostov-on-Don, this entire area falls. Okay, let's check in over here. Ah, I thought that might be the case. So we're going to push them right on back out of here. They can't hold this position, and we're going to prove it to them. Excellent. And we're back in this spot over here. Now, you can see we're down about 100k manpower. That's a lot of manpower, I'm not going to lie. Ukraine is down maybe 400,000 manpower, somewhere between 2 and 400,000 manpower. They're down a lot more than we are, actually. So that is a very, very good sign. As before, we're unable to hold these positions. This is not a surprise. We will continue to work on building all of this, But what we really need is to get these two completed. This one, 1 October. And I'm going to tell these guys just cease attacking. Yeah, cease attacking for now. You guys are just in defensive mode. Stop it. We just want to hold here as best we can. They're going to keep trying to do this, and our supplies are thin out this direction. I don't know how well we can hold this, but what I do know is that we can make them pay for it. I'm going to move about half of these guys over to here, and then the rest of these can stay where they're at. I just want to have troops in position to be able to move in and reinforce here if necessary. So it's 26 September right now. These guys are all in retreat. So we're going to move these in here. Okay. So they fully took that position. And they moved in quite quickly. That's understood. Yeah, we have a really hard time extending out this far. But things will improve once we get this supply hub built. It won't improve a huge amount. What we really need is a forward supply hub. We could think about building a naval base up over here. That is faster. Something like this. We'll see about that. For now, this is fine. So if we get pushed here, that's not the end of the world. This position is basically untenable for us to hold. And that is understood. But I'm going to launch a large-scale attack right here, right now. I'm going to take half of these guys, and I'm going to attack here with them. I'm going to take half of these guys, and I'm going to move up here with them. Okay. This is looking good. Okay, back over this direction, we are going to build, or rather motorize up this hub, which that will help matters on this supply level out over here, but it's not going to, I think, fully fix the problem. What we really need is to build this hub here. That's the biggest deal here, but this is currently going to be 3 February, and we really want to push this line if we can. Because they're going to keep attacking right here. But our supplies are definitely better now. Okay, let's check in over here. This is looking fine. No problem there. These guys here, they're a bit spicy, that's for sure. And I want to make sure... Okay, we are building in all of these locations. Perfect. So this location is becoming a lot more tenable for us to hold. That's a really good sign. And I'm just going to make sure that we are building defenses here. Not that we're necessarily going to be able to do that for too much longer, but we're going to bring in these guys here and these guys here to help us hold. Okay. These guys, they can actually stay here for the moment. I want to bring these in here. They're trying to push this pretty heavily at this moment. That's okay. They can do that. Okay. This appears to be a bit of a new front line. We've, I think, solidly gained a little bit of ground here. This is a little dicey still. We would definitely like to get that dealt with. But it's looking good. So out over this direction, things are fine. Let's check in on the numbers here. 18.49. 13.84. Okay. That's definitely a lot. What is this showing now? 3.29 to 4.31. That's another 200,000 gone. Okay. That's a lot. They're expending a lot of manpower on this. Far more than we are. So that seems great. They're going to run out of manpower pretty quick at this rate. So we're purely defending at this moment. I'm going to grab half of these units and move them over to here to help this. Okay. And then we just immediately teleported back and they took it. I don't know what's up with that. But we're going to grab half of these, and we're going to start attacking here again. So they're going to pile a lot of forces in there. But I don't think they can hold this. I think we can hold it. We just happened to not hold it that time. So we're going to head on in here again. And now we see this naval base is completed. What this naval base gives us is a small amount of forward supplies like this. That'll buy us, hopefully, a little bit of additional supply up over this direction to push out and get this logistics hub finished. This has been under constant attack and is not going to be finished anytime soon at this rate. Especially not if they keep attacking here like this. So that's understood. We were pushed out of this spot, apparently. But we headed back in, and it's fine. Okay. So they're just continuing to attack here. I'm going to use these tanks to push in this direction. I want to take this position and make sure that they're going to have a really hard time taking here. Okay, so there's this position under control. Let's make sure that this is building up any defenses that we can. It's getting a lot harder for them to push into us. So that's great. This naval base is going to continue to improve, but what we really want to do is take this tile right here. To that end, I'm going to launch an attack with these tanks as soon as they let up on this attack. I'm going to attack with these tanks right now. There we go. And now we're going to counterattack with these tanks. I want to use half of these infantry to assist this attack. Okay. I'm noting this going on up over here and moving these infantry up. There we go. So they'll help hold that for now. I'm wondering about infrastructure. No infrastructure availability here at this time. Okay. So 3 March at this point is when this is going to finish construction. Assuming it doesn't get delayed through attack, which it currently cannot be done. It cannot be delayed through attack right now. Okay. So we're going to try to hold these positions without doing any further attacking until ideally 3 March. However, we've got this going on here, which is unsurprising, and we're just going to move in additional reinforcements over here. Yeah, unsurprising on that one. So we're going to have to continue to push this back in order to not get attacked here. That's the dream. However, they're currently attacking up over here, so this is fine. And they actually took this position, which is surprising. Let's move these tanks in here. Push back their tanks. In the meantime, we're being attacked over here, which is fine. Okay, we took this position back now, and we're just going to work on building that land fort back up. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to attack with half of these infantry here. I'm going to move these tanks in. I'm going to take half of these tanks. They're going to come in here. Okay. And then these tanks are going to push along with half of these infantry. We're just buying time right now. That's what we're doing. So this attack over here is struggling a little bit. I'm going to move these tanks in to help out. We're holding up here for now. We've stopped this attack. Okay. That's very rude. So it's currently 14 December, and this is going to be done, again, 3 March. However, our naval base in Kuban is going to be upgraded in 19 December. So that's just a couple of days at this time. That's noted. I want to check in here. 1393, 1865. So this seems to be roughly even right now in terms of losses. That's noted. We are going to run out of manpower eventually. I'm stopping this attack for the moment. They're not attacking this position, and I'm just allowing time to pass at this moment. They are pretty heavily attacking up over here. I'm thinking about grabbing these 5 infantry and moving them over here to help reinforce this. Okay. So something along those lines. Now, who are you? You're down to 18 of 24? Where did we lose these tanks? Okay. We've got these tanks out over here, and we've got a few additional tanks around. I know we've got some in here. 3? Okay. So we'll move those over to here. That puts us at 21 out of 24 anyway, and that'll be fine. I'm also thinking about stepping up our recruitment to 6 divisions of tank. There we go. So this out over here is, of course, a little bit rough. That's understood. For the moment, I'm just going to let them continue to attack over here. Okay. So now I'm going to move these guys back in. Okay, they took that position. That's understood. For the moment, that's fine. Okay, so at this moment, we're actually as defended as we're going to get on this front. It's 30 December, and we want to launch an attack somewhere. The question is, where? The awkward part here is that this tile connects to Rostov-on-Don. If it didn't, I would push here and then try to cut it off over this direction. As it is, our best bet might be to try to push out like that. But I don't know. I'm not hugely sold on that one. So this is down to 19 here. We definitely want to grab some 6 units of our infantry here, and we'll get them brought in here. Not you. There we go. And then this needs 1 reinforcement unit as well. And then this guy, he can control up to 30 at this moment. So we're going to grab 6 of these, and we're going to move them in over here. So we'll bring in some reinforcements. This front is quiet at this moment. So we appear to be settling in. We've got reinforcements arriving at the front at this time. So we do have this naval base over here. We do have the logistics hubs over here. And that is giving us a decent amount of additional logistics. What we really need, of course, is this to be finished. 14 February at this moment. That's a little faster than anticipated. That's about a month away. Okay. If they don't want to attack on this front, I am okay with just sitting here at this moment. Once we have the supplies here, we push for Rostov-on-Don. We've reinforced our front. I would like to have 3 additional tank battalions, and we do have 2. So we'll get these up to our front, and we should have another one, I think, very soon, right? Yes. 25 January. So that will be done very shortly indeed. Seems good. So we'll be fully reinforced, and then we will start up another push up over this direction. They're better supplied than they were previously. So I do want to be clear about that. But if they don't want to attack here, I'm completely content with not being attacked at this moment. So we do have that additional tank unit, and that needs to be making its way up to here. There we go. That seems fine. And we're going to launch this attack here in about 2 weeks. They have started up an attack over here. Okay. So this is going to be delaying our construction. We are currently losing this attack over here. So to that end, I'm going to launch an attack here. And we're going to launch a relief attack off, well, this direction for now. These guys, they are going to need to finish this attack, which is apparently going to last another 4 days. I really want to get them not tied up over here. That'd be nice. We really don't want to lose this. We really don't want to lose this. So we need to get some forces over here. And the question is, where are all of our forces right now? Well, we've got these guys here, and we're going to start launching a bit of an attack here to take this back. We are apparently not very capable of doing that. Okay. So that's noted. We are apparently not very capable of attacking this at all. So they're going to continually attack here, and how close are we to getting this finished? Well, we are very, very close. But if they're going to continually attack here, it's going to be a problem. We need to launch an attack up this direction immediately to relieve some pressure. And we need to launch an attack here as well to relieve additional pressure. Like this. Oh, it's 12 February. We just lost all of the progress from that because these guys just instantly retreated. Come on, guys. We can take it back, but that's very annoying. That is incredibly, incredibly annoying. Okay. They're struggling to provide supplies down this way. Well, we could start building a supply hub here. I'd really prefer to have it here, but apparently that's not an option. So that's noted. I want to attack here, I want to launch an attack here, and I want to launch an attack like that. So that's fine for the moment. I want more tanks in over this direction for now. We've apparently given up on this attack already. I'm going to tell these guys, go ahead and just start with your attacks. Okay. So we're going to attack out over this direction. We're going to whittle down their supplies quite a lot. And as we can see, they have a hard time maintaining their momentum out this far. So how are they doing at this point for their manpower? Somewhere between 3 and 3.85 million. That means that they've lost about 1 million manpower this episode. That's pretty significant. We've lost less than that, that's for sure. We didn't have 1 million to start with. So they're trying to push in over this way, but we're trying to counterattack to stop their momentum, and it's actually kind of working. Kind of working. I want these guys to help out with this attack. Actually, just assist the attack. Okay. So we're going to take this position back shortly. I think. Maybe. We're really struggling to push in over this way. So that's noted. Very interesting. But now things are beginning to turn. Okay, they've turned back. But all we need to do is keep up the pressure. They really can't keep this up. We're down below 100,000 manpower, and we need to start thinking about when we're going to ramp up our conscription. Probably soon. Yeah, we need to do it basically now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to change our conscription to service by requirement. This is going to cost us 10% factory output, but it's, at this point, a necessity. So we're going to do that. That'll allow us to mobilize up a lot. As you can see, we're now net positive in our manpower. And I don't think that they can go any lower than where they are in terms of their service by requirement. I don't think they can bring that down. 3.01 to 4.07, we know they're not at 4.07, so that's absolutely fine. We're just going to continue to push in here. We're going to mobilize up, and we're going to be in a good mobilization position. So we've got a lot more manpower that we can tap into here, and yeah, I just want to continue attacking like this. Wear them down. They're losing a lot of their combat effectiveness. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to wear down Ukraine over here. We're just about to the point where they're going to begin to collapse. Once that happens, the plan is to strike out over here and take as much of the steel as we can. That's the goal. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.